Well, good morning, friends, and welcome to my channel. I am Crystal, and this is Homemaking on the Homestead. And today is Friday, so that is my little chatty kitchen table talk. So I kind of try to get the idea of inviting you all into my home and sitting down at my kitchen table here with me and having a nice little chat. So that's my plan. Today, looking down at my notes, so today I want to talk a little bit about cleaning schedules. And I also want to share a really exciting, it was exciting for me, book that I found, cookbook find when I was at a thrift store the other day, and it just really got me excited. So I'm going to share that with you. I'm also going to do a little book update, books I finished reading in January, books I'm still working on, and what kind of books I'm going to be reading in February. And probably in the video talking about she watches over the ways of her household, and just a few little thoughts, nothing real big. But anyway, so grab your cup of coffee, ladies, and let's chat. So today is kind of gray and gloomy and overcast, but I'm okay with that. It's just a nice day today. I have inside things planned, although because right now there's no rain, and I'm not sure that it is going to rain until later on, so I was thinking of maybe getting out and taking a walk. We'll see how that goes. Wintertime can be tough to get any kind of exercise in if the weather is bad. Well, for me, because I like to walk. I keep saying I'm going to pull out my Leslie Sansone, DVDs or YouTube, turn on her YouTube channel and do some walk at home videos. Those are so popular, 20 years ago or something. I don't know. If you are a Leslie Sansone fan, please let me know. I got to the point, I used them a lot after all my surgeries and hospital stay and stuff because it was something I could do small in my house to try to build up my strength. And eventually I put them aside to actually go out and do the real thing, get out there and walk. And that was really, so they were a great stepping stone. I found them to be extremely helpful in just helping me build up my strength and getting my muscles moving and things like that. Sadly, in the last year or two, or I don't know, maybe even since my husband retired, is there a connection there? I haven't been as faithful about getting out and walking as I was. So that is something that January, one of my gentle goals was to try to get out more and work my way back into some sort of exercise routine again. So I always like to know, what do you ladies have going on in your kitchen today, this weekend, or anything like that? Last night we had barbecued ribs with potato salad and coleslaw, and I have plenty of that left, so we are going to eat that again tonight. So tonight is the leftovers, so I have no dinner preps going on in my kitchen today. The only thing that I do want to do today is make some sugar cookie dough, roll out, cut out. My grandkids are coming over probably tomorrow, and we are going to make Valentine's Day cookies. So it was funny, I had this big tote full of Christmas cookie cookie cutters, and they were all Christmas. Well, I did have a few miscellaneous things that had been given to me by my mom and things like that, but mostly they're all Christmas. And so I was wanting to do some cookie baking with the grandkids, and I had to order heart-shaped cookie cutters. So I did. I got them off of Amazon, and I got some piping pastry bags for the frosting. I guess they're called pastry bags for the frosting, and so that the kids can decorate them, because that's really the part that they like the most. It's not really the actual making of the cookies, it's the cutting them out, rolling them out, decorating them. That's kids, right? So, and we always have fun together when we do any kind of projects together. In any case, that's what I have going on in my kitchen. So what kind of things do you have going on in your kitchen? Any kind of baking? What are your dinner plans? I always ask, what's for dinner? So, let me know down in the comments. And it's been so fun. I say this quite often, but it is so true. It has been so fun that to see so many of you guys participating and letting me know what you're having for dinner or what you're cooking, or just simply saying hi. I am continuing to meet new ladies all the time, and I really thank you for that. I appreciate that so much. So make sure, let me know what's going on in your kitchen. And if you haven't ever introduced yourself and you feel comfortable doing that, go ahead, because I would love to meet you. So a very dear friend of mine who I've known online for many years, she followed me back in my website days, message board days, and we would converse back then. And we have been emailing each other periodically during the last bit of time, and today we were chatting about cleaning schedules. She asked do I have a cleaning schedule that I follow, and how do I do that? So I thought that would be a great topic to talk about, and I really want to know what is your cleaning schedule. So obviously things are very different. If you have kids at home, then your cleaning schedule is going to look a whole lot different. I had elaborate cleaning schedules when my kids were at home. With 8 kids, the only way you can really manage a household is to be on a schedule so everything gets done, because there is a lot to do when you have a lot of kids. But of course now it is just hubby and I. So I had kind of continued on with this idea of a cleaning schedule where, I tackled this room on Monday, this room on Tuesday, this room on Wednesday, and what I found is that didn't work for me. So, because oftentimes, maybe you have one room, like, the bedroom or something that needs to be handled today because things are a mess in there, but yet on your schedule, it's your living room day or it's your bathroom day or something like that. So I found that did not work. I have used Fly Lady a little bit in the past. If anything else, Fly Lady gave me this idea of, doing things in a particular order in order to maintain a level of cleanliness in my home. I got the idea, didn't last very long. I honestly, with raising kids and things, I didn't have time to sit at the computer and go through all her emails that would come in. I just kind of I gleaned what I could from her and then branched out in my own thing. If anything, I really like the clean kitchen at night. That was great because I really like waking up to a clean kitchen in the morning. That's very important to me because it's the first room I walk into, get my cup of coffee, and I don't want to be greeted by yesterday's work. I want everything nice. So basically my cleaning method today is pretty simple. When I am doing my daily to-do list and writing down the things that need to be done and goals, projects I have for the day, I take note of which room needs a little bit more of my time. Right now, the table I'm sitting at has got a bunch of stuff all over it. The China hut chair behind me needs to be cleaned off. There's a lot of clutter, that type of thing. So, I will probably put that on my list today to get that back in order. And sometimes there's 2 rooms at a time. Like my bedroom right now, I need to deal with some picking up of laundry and maybe run the vacuum, and I need to change my sheets, and so those might be my 2 areas. But usually I pick 1 to 2 areas that need my attention. I write those down on my list. If I don't get it all done today, it's not the end of the world. Nothing is going to fall apart and life is going to move on, so it will just get transferred to tomorrow's list. And I find doing it this way, I can keep everything at a particular level of cleanliness that works for our home. So that is basically today's method that I use. I have a few things that I try to touch base with every day, whether it's swishing out the bathroom sinks or sweeping the kitchen floor or running the vacuum here and there. Those are kind of like the daily constant things that I do anyway, and then I tack on any extras after that. So that's my basic cleaning method. What is yours and what stage of life are you at? Are you an empty nester like I am, and is your husband retired, or do you, is it just you and your hubby at home and maybe you work, or whatever your situation is? What is your method for cleaning, and what kind of cleaning routine or schedule do you have? I was so excited. So the other day I was in a Goodwill, and I always go to the cookbook section because I like cookbooks and I tend to collect cookbooks, and I don't even use all of them, but occasionally I pull one out and we'll try this recipe or that recipe. But I shared this cookbook in a video quite a while ago, and this cookbook has a lot of sentimental value to it for me. This was my mother's, and she used this cookbook like crazy. I remember as a child, it was always out, always on the counter. It's got very basic recipes. It is the Betty Crocker's New Good and Easy Cookbook. Super cool. And as you can see, it is well worn. The cover is worn. Pages are falling out. She has notes. Oops, there we go, page falling out. She has notes written down. She has recipes tucked in here and there. And even all the way to the back, she's got news articles with different recipes and things written on the back cover. I keep it because it's got sentimental value to me. It's a very difficult cookbook to use because it is falling apart. I did quite a bit of research on this book and discovered that this is the 1962 edition of this cookbook. Since then, this cookbook has been revised and updated many, many times. So I am looking through these cookbooks at Goodwill, and you will never guess what I found. I found the exact same 1962 edition of the New Good and Easy Cookbook by Betty Crocker. And just to give you an idea of what amazing condition this book is in and how well used my mother's is, look at the difference in these guys. Isn't that crazy? I felt like this was brand new condition, like nobody had ever used it. I even found out that the cookbook had an actual spine with the spiral binding in there. It's hard to tell that on my mom's cookbook, you know. So I, of course, immediately bought this book because it was so exciting. I actually can't wait to kind of do a little comparison, look at recipes that maybe my mom marked and pointed out, or things that I remember from childhood, and maybe make a few of those just for the fun of it. We'll see. But that was my Goodwill cookbook find that I was so excited about. Thrift store shopping is one of those things where you just never know what you're going to find, right? My sister-in-law always calls it treasure hunting, and I like that thought about it all. All right, keeping on the theme of books, in January I shared with you guys my list of books that I wanted to read through the month, and I thought it would be fun, since it's the beginning of February, to kind of do a quick update and let you know some of the other books that I'm currently working on. So this will be the third time I've mentioned this book, but I finished Remarkable Women of the Bible. Highly recommended. This book was a fantastic book. I really enjoyed Elizabeth George's in-depth look at all these various women of the Bible, their strengths, their weaknesses, the lessons that are there for us today. Just so much in this book. So highly recommended if you have a chance. I got mine on Thrift Books. Maybe you'll get lucky and find it at a thrift store. Put it as one of those treasure hunting things to look for, or your library. But I will leave a link to it below for the Amazon link so that you can at least see it. And never forget too that Amazon sells used books, and so sometimes I've gotten some pretty decent deals that way. So in any case, I highly recommend this. Then the other books that I did a lot of audiobooks. I tend to do a lot of audiobooks. I'm one of those people that likes to have something going on in the background all the time. So audiobooks are some of my favorite, and it's great to listen to them while I'm in the kitchen working. I put them on my phone, and I have I'll set my phone in the bedroom while I'm working, or even while I'm cleaning the bathroom or something. And I'm just always taking it around with me, listening to audiobooks. There's just so much out there. So I was asked the other day by one of my daughters, where do I get my audiobooks? So there is a app called LibriVox, and I can put that down below. And you can get all kinds of wonderfully free ebooks on there, audiobooks on there. Most are classics, and I spent 2 years going through more classic books with that app than I would have ever imagined I could do. And it's a lot of fun. So if you like old books, you know, it's a great way to just enjoy them and listen to them while you do your housework. Another audiobook that I went through this last month in January was The Long Winter by Laura Ingalls. I felt it was appropriate. I actually listened to it during the time period we were kind of snowed and iced in, and I thought, I can so relate to everything she's saying, and also that knowledge that she had it a lot more difficult than I did. And anyway, that was a fun one. And you all know I am a fan of cozy mysteries, cozy murder mysteries. I'm currently working on an Agatha Christie audiobook, but the two that I did finish reading was one called Closely Harbored Secrets by Bree Baker and Deadly Cruise by, I forgot the author, so I had to look it up real quick, Dawn Brooks. And so those I found on YouTube. So YouTube has a lot of audiobooks. It's absolutely amazing to me the number of audiobooks that YouTube, full audiobooks that they have. The other things that I started listening to towards the end of January were two books by Christian men. The first one is called Sit, Walk, and Stand by Watchman Nee. Watchman Nee was a Chinese man that lived in China and was an evangelist, spreading the gospel. He started churches, he ministered to people in China at a time where it was quite dangerous. I wrote down in my trusty notebooks, he was born in November 1903. He died in May 30th, 1972. He started many churches during his ministry there in China, but he was eventually sent to prison for his faith and spent 15 years in a labor camp and died there. So he has written quite a few books, and I have started to, like I said, Sit, Walk, and Stand. And, you know, I'm just curious about what he wrote and interested in some of his books. The other person that I am reading, the first of his books, is AW Tozer. He was an American pastor who was born April 21st, 1897, and died May 12th, 1963. And I am currently reading his book, or listening to it. I don't ever know what to say on those when it's audiobooks, but anyway, In Pursuit of God. And I just, you know, decided that I was interested in some of these older authors and trying to just read some of their works and evaluate them and what I think of them, maybe be encouraged by them. Those two are currently books that I am working on. Then the other actual Reading Your Handbook, I pulled it off the shelf. I bought this one 2 or 3 months ago at least. Who knows, maybe longer. But I haven't really sat down other than reading. I tend to do that, read bits and pieces, see what I think of a book. And I like everything I see about this. It is called A Woman's High Calling, 10 Ways to Live Out God's Plan for Your Life by Elizabeth George. Yes, another Elizabeth George book. I find her books to be so encouraging, really food for thought. So I decided it was time for me to open this one. So that right now is kind of what I have. I'm pretty sure I'm going to add more to this. I just haven't figured out what books I want to read next, other than, I'll probably continue doing more audiobooks just because I enjoy them a lot. But if you are interested in audiobooks, I really recommend checking out LibriVox and check out YouTube. Okay, so let me know, what are you reading right now? What kind of books do you have on your list to read? And, any reading author suggestions are always appreciated. In fact, a lot of books over time that I found have been because you guys let me know and suggested them to me. So, go ahead and share that in the comments as well. Okay, I just had a couple more things to wrap up this video to share with you, and they are on homemaking and homemaking encouragement. It made me think about a couple things. Number one is Proverbs 31:27. She watches over the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. And the value of us managing our homes. It is so important. Today, managing our home is like the worst thing a person can do. A woman is wasting her time. She is wasting her life if she's at home managing and taking care of her home. And it's exactly contrary to what the scriptures say. And I think, no matter what our situation in life, whether we are home full time, whether we're working, our homes need to be like that primary focus. It is God's calling to manage our homes. It is our career. So in light of that, and talking about older Christian authors, it made me think of a quote that I see thrown out over the internet all the time by C.S. Lewis. And it says, "The homemaker has the ultimate career. All other careers exist for one purpose only, and that is to support the ultimate career." So I always like that comment. Well, I went one time looking for where did he say that? Where does this quote come from? And I could never find it. And yet I see it on the internet all the time. Did he actually say that? It got me wondering about that. Anyway, and finally, after doing some more research on it, I found the source. And it was from a book called The Letter of C.S. Lewis. And I got this from a blog that I will link below in case you want to read more and research it on it for yourself. But so he's writing out this letter, so I'm not going to read everything. I'm just going to jump in here. And he's talking about a housewife's work. And he says, "But it is surely in reality the most important work in the world. What do ships, railways, miners, cars, government, etc. exist for, except that people may be fed, warmed, and safe in their own homes? As Dr. Johnson said," don't know who that is, I'd have to read the whole book, "to be happy at home is the end of all human endeavor. We wage war in order to have peace. We work in order to have leisure. We produce food in order to eat it. So your job is the one for which all others exist." Okay, now we are down to where did that come from? I found it. And I still think it's a great message to us as homemakers. And also to know that quote was obviously somebody condensed the main points of that and then said it was a C.S. Lewis quote. But anyway, I really hope that we realize, each one of us, the value of our job and the value of our home and the importance of making our home that one place where your family, your friends, whoever walks through your door can be encouraged, they can be nurtured, they can find peace, they can find joy. That is our domain. That is what God wants us to create. It's a way to glorify Him. It's a way to share a cup of coffee with your neighbor. It's a way to cook a meal for your family and let them know that you love them. We are always the hands and feet of Jesus. One of my good friends always says that. And the things that we do to serve God by serving others around us is part of what creates a wonderful home. And that's what I want. That's the message I want to leave you with today. Is like, let's all be encouraged and remember the value of what we do every day, whether we are creating beautiful big meals and hosting people, or whether we are scrubbing, our floors and doing our laundry. All of these things glorify God because they are creating this home where we can reach out to people and be those hands and feet of Jesus. Okay, ladies, I am pretty sure this video has gone on long enough now. And y'all have things I'm sure you need to do too, and I need to get moving on my day. But I just cannot thank you enough for stopping by and visiting with me. I have been so truly blessed by you guys. It's just been amazing. I've been on the internet for a long time in various ways. Website, blog, now YouTube. And it never ceases to amaze me how many wonderful women there are out there. And I actually am even more so feeling blessed and amazed by the ladies that I have met since starting my channel. And those of you who comment regularly, thank you so much. You have no idea what a blessing you are to me. You have no idea how much you encourage me each and every day. When I read your comments, I smile, I laugh, I just want to reach out and hug all of you guys. So I just thank you. And like I say, I want to continue to meet more of you. So if you feel comfortable, please do leave me a comment. You don't even have to introduce yourself, but I always enjoy knowing who I'm talking to. Alrighty, I think it's time for me to get on with my day. I've got lots to do still today, but I have thoroughly enjoyed this visit. And I hope that you all have an awesome and blessed weekend. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.